Hello, everybody. Welcome to Universal Tech Movement Horizons. We are going to get started just in a little bit. So please get ready for an exciting conversation with Demarkus Pruitt. So I'm excited to have you here because we are about to dive in. Reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member, go ahead and tag them. Whether you're tuning in on LinkedIn, tuning in on YouTube, we're so happy that you're here today because you are the reason why we do these events to get people plugged into the community, but also share stories and share journeys about what's happening inside the space. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I am Michael Ward Jr. I am the president and CEO here at Universal Tech Movement. And if you're coming back, to rock with us, once again, well, hey, thank you for coming back. I'd love to have you. Right. We love having people inside the community. So Universal Tech Movement is all around here in Austin, Texas. We do the work that we do, connect the individual inside the tech space. Horizons is where we dive in and share stories. So I'm excited to really share and have Demarkus talks about the things that he does on his side. So let me go ahead and jump and dive in. So here at Universal Tech Movement, we're all about connecting communities to the tech industry. We do that through workforce readiness, innovation, and economic advancement. So there are different services that we do provide individuals, or if we're working with different entities, whether it's schools, other nonprofits, agencies or employers, it's all around getting individuals inside the tech space and removing barriers along the way. So if you are looking to get plugged in, if you are already inside the tech space, reach out to us because there's a lot of things that we could do together. And we love, collaborating and supporting individuals along the way. So the reason why we do the work that we do here at Universal Tech Movement is because we have a great opportunity. For those who don't know, and this may be a surprise to you all, but there are 4.3 million unfilled jobs that are progressing each and every single day. By 2030, they expect to see this number not only reach 4.3 million, but even surpass that, costing the global economy $8.5 trillion. So the work on our side is all about getting people plugged in, right? Helping people either get inside the tech industry for their first time, advance across the industry, and become engaged techies. So whether you already work in tech, great, continue doing that. If you're looking to make that transition, reach out to us. Or if you need assistance, right, with either creating a product, creating a service, please reach out to us because right now, we have a great and exciting opportunity to get people plugged inside the tech industry and share the great opportunity and resources that's out there and what people can do when they're innovating. So I'm excited for UTM Horizons, but also for the other work that we do all around getting people more and more inside the tech industry. So now I'm going to bring up Demarkus Pruitt. He is our speaker for today to share his journey inside the tech space. Pruitt currently is the VP of Network of Operations and Support at Scale Computing. He'll talk more about his work and what he does, and also share a little bit of fun fact about himself before he dives in. So Demarkus, are you here? Are you here, sir? Can we bring you to the stage?
Hey, thanks, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm super excited to talk to your audience and tell about my journey. But first off, thank you for what you do and what your team does for the community. You're making a big difference. And thank you for that, sir.
Oh, I appreciate that. And thank you for taking time out of your day to be here. Because I got to tell everybody, we're all busy. We all, some of us have families, others have other responsibilities. So you could be anywhere on a Wednesday night and you choose to be here. So thank you for your diligence, right? And your patience and your opportunity to set time aside to be here. So Demarkus, I'm going to step away because I know people came here to hear you. So please, Demarkus, please feel free to introduce yourself, let people know who you are, and let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Michael said, my name is Demarkus Pruitt. Currently, I'm the Vice President of Network Operations Support for Scale Computing, based out of Austin, Texas. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, born and raised. And basically, like Michael said, I took time away from my family. I'm a family man, and we'll jump into it. But yeah, they told me to start off with a fun fact, and my fun fact is this: I own 2 dogs for less than a week. Quick story, and my family gives me grief about it all the time. But we tried to get a COVID dog back in 2020. Everybody was home, got a little dog, a little rat terrier, and that rat terrier had too much energy. We didn't do our research, our due diligence. Little cute girl, brought her home, and that dog was eating up everything. All running around the house. The kids were trying to do Zoom sessions for class and stuff. And then the wife got to like day 5. You're just like, you know what? This is a little much, and we gave the dog up. And so kids were very devastated. Fast forward another year and a half, and whatever reason, we had the great idea to get another dog, and we tried it again. And my kids are in sports, uh, leading into football season, and we got another dog. And sure enough, it was like this dog wasn't as energetic, but it was another puppy, about 9 weeks old, and uh, we made it to 7 days that time, and we're like, all right, yeah, we have to, sold it to somebody else. So that we are, I am a dog lover, but don't hold it against me. So yeah. So my background. So from an education perspective, as the slide shows, I I am from Kentucky, and I went to a school called Murray State University in the western part of Kentucky. Graduated in 2004 in a with a Bachelor of Science in Telecommunication Systems and Management. At that particular time, when I went off to college in 1999, I had aspirations of being an electrical engineer. However, when I walked in the door, the program had just started that program. They went out and talked to the industry, and at that particular time, the industry came back and said, "Hey, I either need to hire like your electrical engineers, your computer science folks, and also train them on the business side of the house, or I hire someone with business and train them on the technical aspect." So that program at that particular time, had the bright idea of creating this program at that particular time. It said telecommunications should have really been like network management and management. So it was a area actually, and so half the courses were on the technical side, networking, telephony, coding, and then at that particular time, wireless communication was pretty big. And so, from a cellular wireless perspective, and from a Wi-Fi perspective, and then the other side was management, marketing, ecom, accounting, and all that aspect. So, I take my hat off to the program because it prepared me for my future. Yeah, I always tell everybody, when you come out of college, you're not going to be an expert in any particular field, but it gave me the opportunity to experience multiple aspects of the professional career market. Um, Fast forward, I got my MBA from the University of Phoenix in 2006. I actually started my MBA program at Murray State University. Um, we'll talk about my professional career, but being in the military, I got deployed, and while I was deployed in Iraq, I switched over and started working on my MBA through the University of Phoenix. At that particular time, they were one of the few institutions that had a pretty robust online program, and it allowed me to complete my MBA. And then lastly is my I wound up getting my PhD back in 2019, and that's that picture in there. That's my wife, my family, and everybody's a lot bigger now. And now my boys are 14 and 16, and my daughter is 21 years old, and she's in college herself now in her junior year. So, got my PhD in management with a concentration in IT.
So the Marcus question first. So first, fantastic background. Just overall, I see the multiple layers of engagement you had throughout your years. So what's your original plan to do your bachelor's and get your master's and then do certifications? or kind of, what was that decision like and journey like for you as you made these decisions between certifications, degrees, undergrad, masters, etc.?
Yeah, so great question. I wish I could have said I had a master plan of doing that, but being a first generation college student, I didn't know what I was getting into. Um, all I knew was I wanted to go to college, right? And so I walked into college, and then basically just kind of figured it out. But I did realize that I felt I was the type of person that once I left college, it was going to be very hard for me to go back. And so that was kind of my deciding factor to go directly into the graduate program, because I felt like once I got out and started making money and all that type of stuff, it was going to be very challenging for me to go back. But to get a PhD was never really on my radar. Um, you know, I didn't know anybody that had a PhD, honestly, growing up, and so I, wind up, I am a lifelong learner, and being in the military, it gave me the opportunity to go get my PhD. I had some GI Bill money and stuff, and at that particular time in my life, it worked out really well, and actually provided some additional income to go to school. So it was a win-win perspective. But for the certification perspective, yeah, same. I didn't know much about certifications, but as I got into my career, that's where the certifications came from, in a way to try to enhance my career, my learning, my expertise. I started to explore different type of certifications. So,
And did you pay for your certifications out of pocket? Was it through your company? Was it through different resources? What was that like? And also for your schooling, did you pay for your schooling yourself? Was it other resources? How did you leverage those opportunities, and what did that look like for you on your pathway?
yeah. So the answer is yes. I got scholarships. I paid for it out of my pocket. I had the military pay for it. My employer paid for some of it, and so yeah, so from all of it. So when I initially went off to college, and the government helped me out from a Pell Cap grant perspective. I wound up earning a scholarship while I was there. I was playing football, walked on to the team, got a scholarship. Um, from from a athletics perspective, and then also I wound up getting an academic scholarship for my major and stuff like that, to pay for like my housing and dorms and all that aspect. And then do the military has some really great benefits. I still I'm a big fan in the military, and I always tell people, especially the younger generations, if you don't have a plan, it's a great opportunity. If you go in, they'll give you skills and job training, but at the same time, make sure you utilize those educational benefits. And then from a employer perspective, yeah, I've been extremely blessed to have employers that invested back into their employees, and I was able to take advantage of it. A lot of times signing up for those certification perspectives. So like my PMP, my project management, my professional project management certification, my employer at that time back in Kentucky, selected a few employees and paid for it, a boot camp to come in and provided those resources. And then, you had to study on your own, and you can take the test, and they pay for the test. Same as some of those certifications. Some of the certifications I pay for myself, and then yeah, and yeah. So you name it, I pretty much got to figure out a way to get it funded. All right. So just continuing on in my tech journey. So as you can see, I did a little bit of everything, and I tell the younger generation, and then not just the younger generation, I just tell anyone, right? Go out and get you some experience. And so as you can see, I started off, my first real job was the pizza place. It's about the pizza place in Louisville, Kentucky, and I said I did everything. Um, Shout out to my old boss and owner, Chris. Gave a couple of kids in the neighborhood opportunity. and he opened up a business, kind of remind you of like like a Domino's or Papa John's type of place, but community local base, and gave some kids a job. My first job in their place was putting flyers on people's houses. So basically, he paid us, I don't know, probably like 2 cents per flyer, and so and said, if you better not double up any of the flyers and put them on the doors. Single flyer, single house. So in retrospect, that was probably a good deal for him. But for some young kids, 13 years old, didn't have a job, messed around in the summertime, it was good for us. Good exercise, and showed us some good work ethics. Fast forward again, my next job was a store manager for a place called Big Babies Tapes and CDs. I'm not even sure they got tapes and CD places around anymore, but that was a pretty cool job, especially being a teenager. I got all the latest music first because all the artists and stuff would always distributors would send out new albums and CDs and stuff like that, and I was able to copy them and stuff, and I had all the latest music. But I sat in a place and played music all day, and people came in and purchased tapes and CDs, and so that's how I spent my summer. And then fast forward, working in the grocery store, Winn-Dixie. Some of y'all might heard of it, might not. A lot of them closed down, but I say stocker, but I came in as a bag boy, and first day, I'll tell people my first day working at the grocery store was the day before Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you, you want to break somebody in, that's the day you break them in. As a bagger, I said, I never touched so many frozen turkeys in my life. And I remember coming home because we was out of school. It was like the day before Thanksgiving, so we were out of school. Worked an 8-hour shift. I'm like, man, my feet hurting, my back hurting. 16 years old. My mom was laughing at me and stuff like that. But really good experience because I started off with probably one of the busiest days ever. So, and then fast forward, when I was in college, while I was in college studying on the technical side of the house, started my own business with my roommate, doing tech support for the students and local small businesses and stuff. And so fixing computer issues, reformatting computers, removing bugs and stuff, viruses off of computers, and like I said, helping the small businesses set up like some of their POS systems and stuff like that. And so good experience, and me and my roommate pretty much got pretty good at it. And we got so busy, it was almost hard to go to school and work on people's stuff. So, but definitely good experience because we ran into a lot of technical situations that it was challenging. We just had to figure it out. Next, so while I was in college, I joined the Army Reserve. So, went off to boot camp, came back, but then I wound up getting deployed. So, as I was telling you earlier, I was in grad school. So, graduated undergrad 2004, but was in grad school and got my orders and had to go over to Iraq. And you know, bittersweet. No one wants to go off to deployment most time, but it provided a lot of experience for me. So I got some additional training. So in the military, they call it the signal side of the military, where you learn the technical side. And I had an opportunity to become a 25 Lima, which people will say a cable dial, but it was a network systems installer, basically doing the racking and stacking, doing the physical aspect of putting in the network. Yeah, outside plant from the fiber optics to the inside plant for, twisted pair to Cat5. We had to do it. And so went over to Iraq and did a lot of pretty cool projects and stuff. And basically, when my group went over, we were basically the second wave. And the first wave did everything tactical. They laid out cables all on the ground and stuff, but we came in and tried to commercialize it and to make it look like you would see in the US, putting cables actually underground and doing a true inside plant where they're building up new facilities and stuff like that. And so, and then also from a leadership perspective, I was a supervisor or a E5 sergeant, non-commissioned officer. And so I tell people from a leadership perspective, um, and even in the military, while you're deployed, you know, you're in a deployment is like 3 years stateside or in the garrison. And so same thing, like being the leader in the deployment, you're the leader 24/7. Like your soldiers are your soldiers. It's not like 9 to 5 and you're done. You know, just talking and counseling the soldiers 24/7 for over a year. So, and you know, definitely show you how to lead people in tough situations, and also to motivate them. You know, in situations that a lot of them didn't ask for or did not want to be. You know, you're away from your family. You're in some very critical situations. So, very good experience from that perspective. Then, you know, fast forward again, coming out of deployment. Literally, I was interviewing why I was in Iraq towards the end of my deployment, and and basically came back in the telecom space. Like, so I had some education, and now I had hands-on experience being in the military, and came back and on the slide I said I pretty much went into the telecom space, the cable space for various companies, and got into the NOC space, Network Operations Center. And so came back to Kentucky, working for a smaller cable company called Insight Communication, running their network, you know, supporting over 1 million users, cable users in that network. And then, you know, fast forward, Insight got acquired by Time Warner Cable, a larger, you know, went from the 10th largest cable company in the US to the second largest cable company um, in the US. And then fast forward again, um, and got acquired by Charter Communication or Spectrum. And so you can see as a good 15-year journey, saw a lot, moved from Kentucky, and that's how I wound up coming to Texas to help build up the department there. And then after that, um, you know, I had an opportunity to move over to Google, and I joined Google in 2001 as our global technical program manager, leading their global network operations team, and an opportunity to help Google scale their network operations. I managed their third-party NOC, and also managed their problem management program. Basically, I was the one to help identify problems in the network from a process and procedural and even a technology perspective, and work with the various teams to implement solution. Basically, arguably, you know, it's arguably one of the largest networks in the world, the Google network. Basically, the network that would provide all the end users to get to all the Google products, to all the data centers worldwide. So, saw a lot of cool things, and had the opportunity to um, work with a lot of intelligent people. And then fast forward, and here we are today. Uh, Back in 2025, I had opportunity to join Scale Computing. That particular time, it was actually at Acamira, but to acquisition, we changed our name to Scale Computing. And yeah, that's where I am today.
Wow, what a journey, Demarcus. I mean, just from the pizza place all the way to VP right now, doing the work that you're doing inside the tech space. So that's beautiful. I love journey. I love hearing and I love seeing how things are different for people depending on where they are in their journey and what worked for them and what resources and opportunities were out there. So could you dive a little bit deeper about the work that you do now? Given your background, definitely share what that looks like now, given the work that you do.
Yeah, so today, like I said, I work for Scale Computing, and Scale Computing is a managed network service provider and a edge computing service provider. And I lead a global team from our network operation and technical support perspective. So what does that mean? So I still use the term knock, and today I have a team that's spanning globally. US, 3 locations in the US and one location abroad in India. I have a team over 150 individuals, and basically our goal is basically to support our customers. You know, um, the customers can call in if they have an issue. My team takes a look at it and resolve their situations, and then um, but also we're trying to be proactive as possible. Try to identify the situation before they even call in and rectify the situation. And so, like just like on the slide, it says, you have the personnel management aspect. We have the overall strategic vision to try to make sure that operating the department as effectively and as efficiently as possible. To do the customer service perspective, um, incident management, like I said, the break fix perspective, process improvement, and as I said, efficient management. And so, you know, gives me great pleasure in this role and in previous role is like I really like about being in this role and in the various leadership roles is the people development aspect. Helping people um, be as good as they want, helping people reach their own particular goal. And so, like even in the military to now, helping people achieve their goals. And I find that that's a good mix. That's a win-win scenario. And so definitely I love that. And building strong, effective teams. So I have the mindset that let's win together, and partner together and go from there. Yeah. So yeah. So time travel. If I could go back, I know I was got stuck on this question. Honestly, it took me a little bit, and not to take too much time, but somebody once asked me. I was at another engagement talking to some college students, and they was like, asking like, "How did you know to make the right decision?" And I was like, "You made all the right decisions," and they were like, "I'm scared to make the wrong decision," and I'm like, just like I told you before, the question you asked, Michael, in regards to, did I know I was going to go from an education perspective, to get my master's and my PhD? I did know. And so, um, I'm a man of faith and I believe everything happens for a reason. And so I told him, I said, when I look back over my life and my journey, I'm thankful and I wouldn't change anything about it, honestly. And I tell people, just keep moving forward and the decision you make will be the right decision. You'll be where you're supposed to be. But with that said, though, I had to think about, all right, if anything, maybe I go back and I laugh about it, but I said launch YouTube before YouTube. Me and 2 really good friends, we had the entrepreneur mindset of starting businesses. And one of the businesses we had really replicated the same model of YouTube. And YouTube officially launched back in 2005, and we were working on this in 2003. We didn't call it YouTube, we actually was going to call it Smash Mountain. And and we had got a front end uh, user interface designer, we had back end guys, we had our marketing plan together, and we were about to roll it out. And long story short, and from an education perspective and my military, joining the military, it kind of slowed it down. And so, like I said, I was in Iraq. I saw, oh, this YouTube stuff started coming up. I'm like, ah, it's late to the party. And so, but basically, the same model in regards to providing people with uh, a place to place their videos and that particular time audio clips and and information uploaded for free, so everyone else can get content from it. So yeah, that's the only thing. I would probably say that if I go back in time, hey, let's go ahead and pull a trigger on that pretty fast.
Well, you know what they say, Demarkus, you miss every shot you don't take, right? So
Exactly.
if you're gonna make the next YouTube, call me. Let us work on it together, right? We can definitely make that happen. Because I
Yeah.
can only imagine, making YouTube before YouTube became YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Because hey, shout out to all the YouTube lovers, man. I like YouTube. We're going live on YouTube. Hey, shout out to YouTube.
Yeah.
So Marcus, let's talk about some pro tips, right? You have years and years and years of experience. So please, share some of your pro tips with our community.
Yeah. So pro tips. So work to gain experience by any means, right? By any means necessary. So and this is not necessary for the younger folks too, but as you saw my background initially, I said it's one of the things, and there's jobs I didn't even see that I did, as in like when I was in college. Every summer I would go to temp agencies and work all these different various jobs. I worked in warehouses, I worked in call centers, I worked doing data entry, and did um, all different type of jobs. And so I was able to connect the dots, learn a little bit from all those different places. But as you come out, if you go from the education perspective and get your degree or you get your certification, the biggest thing is getting that experience, getting into the job, understanding, how to work in a professional environment. And so I supposed to get an internship if possible. If you can't, just get a job in the field. I was tell people, like, you may not get the internship, and you may not get the most prettiest and sexiest job out there that you dreamed about. So I'm gonna go to college to make all this money, blah blah blah, six figures, but just be close, be somewhere around, right, in the facility. Even if you wanted to work for this tech company and you had to become a janitor at the tech company, get there, get in the space. So as I said, just do what you got to do to gain experience, even if you had to start your own technical support business in college, right? Just to get some experience. So that's pro tip number one. So pro tip number two: network, network, network. And so um, you don't want to underestimate the value of your professional network. And so in the day of all this AI, from applying for jobs and stuff, and I see it even with the current company I'm with now, and other companies, right? And so it's becoming, you try to apply for jobs, and tons of resumes come in, and the resumes have been AI enhanced to meet the applicant tracking system requirements. And so, like, when some of the positions posted, you got 100 qualified applicants, and so you try to see how can you navigate that. And so a lot of times, even the recruiters, they're overwhelmed with all the resumes they're getting. That from a networking perspective, knowing somebody with inside a particular company or so, those recruiters would gladly take a referral, as opposed to trying to, the system is already screening, the 95% of them, but still that last 5%, they got to screen, 10 resumes per position, and if there's 10 positions open in the company, 100 resumes. But a current employee says, hey, I like to refer Bob. or Sue, they'll likely take a look at that individual and get them an interview, put them in a place so they can be seen. So, so definitely say the professional clubs, the conferences, the groups, do what you got to do to be in the space. And so lean on your network. And so, um, you know, I always keep good relationships. You never know. I'm a big proponent of staying professional and not burning bridges, right? And so, um, you know, key individuals in your life or in your professional life, stay in contact with them. Doesn't mean you necessarily gotta talk to them every day, but once a year or so, send them a message or something like that, just to keep you on the top of their mind. So, and then my last pro tip I see, um, especially with let's say junior individuals, is learn the art of 360 management. And what I mean by 360-degree management is learning how to manage around you, right? And that's your peers to the side of you. If you are in some type of leadership role, obviously you got to learn how to manage below you, and then also leadership above you, right? Making sure you get that alignment and understand their expectations. And a term I learned before, or a concept, was navigating the ambiguity. Making something that's unclear clear. And so, a lot of times with like junior individuals, and I even coach, like we do consider skip levels, and it might be somebody new to the industry. And I tell my new employees that may be, working for new leadership, um, to force your leadership to provide you that feedback. You know, don't leave it up to chance. You schedule the one-on-one session with them. You get them to provide you that expectation and feedback. And granted, should that be part of your organization? Yes, but I find it happening once again with junior employees and even maybe junior leadership, where people get to the end of the year from a performance review or you know um, merit review, and the expectations are not aligned. Maybe the employee think they're doing really good, and they get a bad review, and they're like, "I thought I was doing good. You never said anything was wrong, but you." So that's why I said you manage up and say, "Hey, talk to me, tell me, what I'm doing good, what I'm not doing so well." And when they tell you you're not doing something well, you go and resolve and fix it, and you go back and make it known to your leadership, and then also get them to acknowledge that aspect. So that's my 3 tips, pro tips. I said,
Well, thank you, Demarkus, for those pro tips. Can we get another round of applause for Demarkus, please, for those pro tips? Thank you. And thank you all for those who are joining, whether on LinkedIn or YouTube. If you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. We'll make sure to bring them in into the conversation, so we could keep things moving. So Demarkus, I appreciate all of those pro tips. I definitely agree with all of the above, especially when you think about just getting the experience that you need. Because regardless of what you're looking for, that experience would allow you to open up the door and start having more and more conversations, depending on kind of where you are in the funnel. So I know we're approaching the end here. So before we let you go, Demarkus, we talked about your journey in tech, but outside of technology, what else are you doing, right? We are people, and there's things that we do outside of our work. So please, Demarkus, share, what are your other hobbies and the work that you do?
Yeah. So thank you. So yeah. So I enjoy serving in my church, in the community. I'm a big proponent of trying to give back. Yeah. Am I busy? My professional career? Yes, I'm extremely busy. But when I do get some time, I definitely like to give back. Serving in different capacities in my church and in the community, and going out and doing community service and helping however I can, helping the needy and stuff like that. So, um, you know, love mentoring the next generation. Part of multiple mentoring programs, And so definitely trying to, provide opportunities. And at the end of the day, I truly believe, we should be wanting to pour back into, the next generation. There was individuals that poured into me, just like I said, I give a shout out to my first boss, Mr. Chris, and you know, he showed me some things, showed me how to make a mean pizza, but showed me work ethics, working hard and held us accountable for coming to work and doing your job and stuff like that, and so same thing. Take the lessons I've learned and pour off to the next generations, and then you know um, I love traveling with my wife. That's my road dog, my best friend. So as we start to get up in age, and I guess I'm in my unk phase, but as the younger ones will say. And but now I enjoy like traveling with the wife. We try to take at least one or two good trips a year, some international trips just to get away because as always people say work hard, play hard, but yeah, definitely like exploring different places and different cultures. And then last night, I love being a dad. Very involved in my children's life. When they were younger, I did coaching in various sports with them, to even Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts perspective. And so now um, I get to sit back a little bit and just watch them, play now since they're in middle school and high school. And so now I'm just a glorified Uber driver, but no, and enjoy, you know, um, that's another form of mentoring perspective. So yeah, that's me.
I love it. I love it, Demarkus. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give you another round of applause. I'm gonna ask everybody else to do it as well. Man, and I love your hobbies, man. Yeah, your four hobbies definitely in line with me. Definitely love the work that I do in the church as well. Love mentoring the next generation. Love my wife and child with her, and I love being a dad. So I love the alignment, man, and the overlap. So, Demarkus, thank you once again for your time and being here. I mean, we did have one question that I saw that come through, and I'm not sure when they joined, so I did want to bring it up just to make sure that we do address it. So, Demarkus, could you just talk a little bit about when you started your IT career? Was it before the military, or was it afterwards?
Yeah, great question. And I apologize if I didn't make it clear, but my IT career started in college. Prior to me starting my own business when I was in college, I actually, like I was talking about, like an internship or co-op. I actually started working for the university. So at Murray State University, the College of Health Science and Human Services. Um, Actually, another shout out to my old boss there, a gentleman by the name of Cooper Levering, gave me an opportunity. And I did my internship for my college, and so I was basically doing tech support for the college. So, you know, building out computer labs, and sometimes like computer labs. Yeah, we had computer labs where you had to go into a room, and we had computers there, and the students went there, and we would, um, um, keep the computers, um, did the maintenance on the computers, checked for the viruses and stuff like that. Add the specific applications, for example, like the nursing program had specific applications that they would run for their program, and so that's where I really got my, um, uh, yeah, I guess ground roots into the IT field, and so learned a lot from that, and then was able to branch off from there.
Beautiful. So that ties in right when you're talking about your pro tip, right? Take advantage of opportunities wherever they are, gain that experience. So Demarkus, man, thank you once again for taking the time on a Wednesday night to being here and sharing your tech journey and your story with everybody. So Demarkus, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna go ahead and close out. So thanks so much, Demarkus.
No, thank you, Michael. I appreciate you, and once again, I thank you for what you and your team doing, and thank you for this opportunity to share my story.
Love it, love it. We'd love to have you back. We have our Dana Life and our Tech Bites. So we'll hopefully see you around in our ecosystem. So hey, y'all, for those who like Demarkus, come back and you'll definitely see him again in the future.
Right.
All right. So now, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and continue because we are now at time for us to conclude. So I do appreciate those who are rocking with us from the beginning and those who came in throughout. So if you do want to share your own tech journey, feel free to email us at contact@joinutm.org. We're all about sharing journeys inside the tech space so that someone else can understand your journey, understand your story, and connect with it so that more and more people can be inside the tech space. We also have our QR code in the top right corner for you to scan and look at our upcoming events. We do events all the time, whether it's Horizons, Day in the Life, or Tech Bites. So if you are looking for some upcoming events inside the tech industry, feel free to scan that QR code. It'll take you to our events page. And you can also go to our website. That's joinutm.org. You'll go there. You'll be able to see our upcoming events, but also check out the other services that we provide the community as well. And then last but not least, if you do support and I love the work that we do, and we're always accepting donations for us to continue providing our services free to the community. As you all know, Universal Tech Movement is a 501c3 ed tech company, and we do not charge any users or individuals going through our program for our services or for the programming work that we do. So if you do love UTM, you love rocking with us, we would love for you to scan the QR code, making donations for us to continue providing this service out in the community. So I thank you all so much for being here today. I'm excited for the next time. And if you don't follow us online, please go to @joinutm. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn. Please, rock with us. We will love expanding and having more individuals inside our community. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.